Clyde Phillips. Open your eyes and look at what you've done! You had 10 years to perfect a good ending of Dexter. And yet you come into this project, Dexter New Blood, and you pretty much fuck it up a second time. For that, you meet the code, and you deserve to be Dexter's next victim. Put you on his table, and hello, Clyde Phillips. Welcome, Dexter Morgan. My final Dexter New Blood episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important. If you aren't caught up to the point where I am, rewatching or watching Dexter or Dexter New Blood, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And if you want to see my original review of this episode of Dexter New Blood, click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video, as you'll hear my initial thoughts when watching the episode, as my thoughts have changed. This will be Dexter New Blood, episode 10. The title of this episode is called Sins of the Father. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode a day ago. We start off with hearing Molly talking about Iron Lake, a town Norman Rockwell would jerk off to. Okay, interesting. Angela is listening to Molly's recorder. She puts the APB out for Molly Park as she's been missing for 72 hours now. Dexter talks about all the people he knows from Iron Lake that we didn't really get development from, like Gig. Logan we got a little bit of development from, but not enough to have him be an established character. I think that's one of the main flaws of this show, is the development of the side characters. Angela tells Dexter she talked to Gig and it seems like he may be a victim of arson. Logan gives Harrison a new jacket, a letterman's jacket. Dexter mentions to Harrison that they gotta leave Iron Lake. Suggests Los Angeles. We can't be ourselves here. Harrison wants to get a pool wherever they decide to go. Angela finds one of the surgical screws at what's left of Dexter's cabin. Just conveniently finds that in burned rubble. Okay. Angela arrives home. Hey you, Dexter says. And she tells the kids to go to Gig's place. Again, a character we really didn't get any development from. We saw him chopping and cutting up a deer or buck, as some people call it. But we really didn't learn anything about Gig that we should have learned. Angela then pulls her gun out on Dexter. He thinks she's taking the whole roleplay thing to the next level. And Logan shows up with handcuffs and Dexter's being arrested for the murder of Matt Caldwell. Dexter asks Angela if we could just talk. We'll be talking a lot, Angela tells him. So Dexter gets booked, fingerprinted, and has a mugshot taken. And Angela takes him in her office. He's handcuffed. And then she turns on the camera and records their conversation. For the record, please state your name. Jim Lindsay. No. Dexter Morgan. Ah, so yes, this is a Dexter thing, not a Jim thing. And Angela tells Dexter she determined it was Dexter in the woods with Matt Caldwell, as he also does a chin scratch thing, which I don't recall what that is. I'm not even going to go back and look at it. I don't care. I've kind of had enough of this show. But yeah, that's her reasoning. And the same gun, same rifle, which everybody has in Iron Lake, but whatever. The serial number on the screws matched the one that was actually used for Matt Caldwell. Titanium doesn't melt. Of course Dexter knows that, you stupid bitch. So Dexter tells Angela Kurt set him up. Angela takes a break. She has something else, but she's got to be sure. Harrison is able to see Dexter, and he tells Harrison he's been in tougher spots. We'll get through this. The world needs us. Angela tells Audrey that Jim is dangerous. Some people aren't who you think they are. Logan gets Harrison a meal with some Pepsi product placement. As many of you may or may not know, I'm a big fan of Pepsi. There's been times where I haven't drank it for a while, and it made me lose a lot of weight, but I do like my Pepsi and hate Coke products. So I was happy with the Pepsi product placement in this episode, which I think in my original review, I don't say anything about Pepsi. So that's a good thing about the episode. Seemed like a scene where that was kind of put in there in the end of production or something like that. Just my thoughts on that. And then we have Angela calling our favorite Miami Metro person, Angel Batista. And Angel says to her, he hopes he didn't give her the wrong impression. And she's like, no. Do you remember the Bay Harbor Butcher? And he's like, yeah, that's a case that we had. What can you tell me about Sergeant Dokes? And Batista says, well, I worked with him every day. And however, his ex-wife thought it was somebody else. Dexter Morgan. Wow, Angela's really good at getting information from people that other people couldn't get after years. But he died years ago. Angela tells Batista to check his email, and Batista checks his email and sees a picture of Angela and Dexter. Now, I should point this out. There is an Easter egg. There's also an email from Masuka and Joey Quinn in there about Masuka getting married, and Quinn, he's asking Quinn if he's going to bring anybody to the wedding. So somebody is marrying Vince Masuka. That's crazy on its own, but props to Vince Masuka and Quinn for still being around and still being best buds with Angel Batista. It's unfortunate that we didn't get them in Dexter New Blood at all. I think that's definitely a major ball drop for Clyde Phillips in this one. More on that later. But Batista opens up the picture that Angela sent, and it's a picture of Dexter and Angela taken about a month ago. Dexter Morgan is alive. Angela wants his old captain's name. She would like to speak to her, but Batista tells her she was murdered. Did you ever catch the killer? Angela asks. And Batista tells Angela he'll be there in Iron Lake first thing tomorrow with everything he's got. So apparently Angel saved all the file folders. Shouldn't those be in evidence, right? That's kind of fishy. So Teddy FaceTimes Logan. Kirk Caldwell is gone, he tells him, but he's told to stay there in case he shows back up. Angela tells Logan to put that lying son of a bitch back in her office. And then Angela, when talking to Dexter, has one word for him. Ketamine. I think Dexter should have responded with M99. She knows he picked some up from Dr. Patel, but they were for Vincent Van Gogh because he was sick. Dexter tells Angela to believe what she wants to believe. And she shows Dexter the needle mark for Jasper Hodge, who also had ketamine in his system. And she also talks to him about the other guy that Dexter was going to beat the shit out of and he was going to kill. And then Logan showed up, so he didn't. But he stabbed him with a needle, but didn't put the go all the way with it. And then she tells Dexter she knows that he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. And Dexter tells her it was James Dokes. Tomorrow, you're going to have a little reunion with your old friend Angel Batista. And he'll get you to Florida where you'll stand trial for the Bay Harbor Butcher. And in Florida, they have the death penalty. So Dexter says, turn off the camera. He'll talk. So Dexter tells Angela she was right about Kurt Caldwell. He's been very active for 25 years. Very active. Go to Kurt's cabin. There's a hatch next to the deadwood. Open it and you'll have proof. Harrison goes to talk to Audrey. Hey, Ghost Deb has finally made an appearance in this episode, bugging Dexter about killing not being the problem. Dexter tells Ghost Deb, enough! And then Dexter asks Logan for some water, and then when Logan comes by, Dexter grabs Logan's arm and smashes his head up against the cell. No big damage done, just a cut. And then he's got Logan with his back turned to Dexter, and he wants Logan to give him the keys, but instead Logan reaches for his gun, and I believe Dexter must have snapped his neck. I don't know if he necessarily did that on purpose at that point in time, but hey, Logan was going for his gun, so, I mean, first rule of the code, don't get caught and probably don't get killed as well. So we lose we lose Sergeant Logan And damn it, Logan, you should have listened to me, Dexter says. Dexter calls Harrison from Logan's phone. He tells him to meet him where they found the white deer. Angela arrives at Kurt Caldwell's cabin. She finds the door to his underground bunker. Next, she sees the Museum of Victims, including Molly Park. She's absolutely terrified. This is the thing she's been looking for years. And she's finally found it with the help of Dexter Morgan / Jim Lindsay. Angela radios for Logan, but there's no answer, so Angela calls Teddy, the dumbass. Get me state troopers, get me CSI, the coroners, and the motherfucking FBI. Angela acts like Deb and screams fuck a few times. Fuck, fuck, fuck! Goes to the station, and then she finds Sergeant Logan dead. And then we have Dexter running through the woods to get to the dead deer site to meet Harrison. Dexter arrives at the scene. Harrison sees blood on Dexter. Whose blood is that? Harrison asks. You called me from Logan's phone. Is that his blood? Is Coach dead? And Dexter tells Harrison there was no other way. Harrison talks about Dexter not caring about anybody. Harrison says his anger is because of Dexter. Dexter keeps saying, come with me, buddy. And Harrison tells Dexter he has to turn himself in. Dexter says if he does, he'll get the death penalty. And Harrison says, maybe you should. Dexter says, you don't have to come with me, but I can't stay here. And then Harrison ends up pointing the rifle that Dexter had just got him at Dexter and asks some questions and says, open your eyes and look at what you've done. What I did earlier in this video. And I think there was one point where it looks like Harrison's talking to somebody else. I forgot to pay attention closely to that, but it seems like they set this show up for another run and they haven't done anything with it. But I didn't even go back and check because honestly, I'm not a fan of this show. Spoiler alert, but I believe there's a part where he acknowledges, like looks the other way and talks, but I didn't pay attention close enough there. But after Harrison says this, Dexter sees visions of people that were innocent that died because of something Dexter did or Dexter's acts. At least I think, but not all of them fall into this category. But he sees Logan, LaGuerta, Dokes, Lundy, Harry, Rita, and Deb. I don't think Lundy falls into that category because nothing Dexter did caused him to die. He hadn't got to a point where he was going to kill Arthur yet. He was going to kill him, but he hadn't found the kill room and all that yet. But Dexter says Harrison is right. Harrison says he doesn't want to be right. He wants to be normal. Dexter says he's sorry for everything he's done to Harrison and that he deserves better, a better life, and a better father. Dexter tells Harrison he has to take the safety off, just like he showed him. This is the only way out. Dexter's Dark Passenger talks about never feeling real love until now. While I guess his Dark Passenger forgot about Hannah and, to a degree, Deb. Then Harrison shoots Dexter. Dexter falls on the ground, and Dexter says, you did good, as he holds Ghost Deb's hand and dies. At least that's what we're led to believe. He's dead. Then Angela shows up. Wonder how she knew where they were. Did she do like a cell phone location trace? She didn't have a warrant. Did she do a Google search? Where is Dexter Morgan at? Dexter Morgan is at this location. I don't know. Weird. So Harrison says he killed Coach Logan. Angela says she knows. Harrison asks Angela to tell Audrey he said goodbye. She says she can't because she hasn't seen him. So she's not going to tell anybody that she saw Harrison here. And then Harrison gets in Dexter's truck and starts to drive away. He even drives by the police station, which is not a smart move, in Jim Lindsay / Dexter's truck. And Harrison's reading Dexter's letter to Hannah. I think Hannah, we should have saw a scene of Hannah reading that letter initially, just because we didn't see Hannah's reaction to finding out that Dexter was alive all this time. And Dexter says a lot of things in the letter. He says he wishes the hurricane would have taken him to release him from his urges. So unless Harrison starts showing any dark tendencies, I beg you, let me die so my son can live. and then Harrison continues to drive, and that ends the series, at least what we're led to believe. So upon rewatching this show, this particular version of Dexter, I am not happy. There's a lot of things that they could have done that they didn't do. This episode in particular, it really bothers me that they called Angel Batista and he says he'll be there tomorrow, and then we don't get any more scenes with Angel Batista. We don't get a reunion between Angel and Dexter when Angela said that there was going to be a reunion between your old friend Angel Batista and yourself. Just pisses me off. There's a lot of characters in this show that weren't really hashed out very well, like the billionaire guy. He was in, 3 episodes, Ed? It seemed like he had a lot more to do early on, and then they just kind of made that character disappear, and like a character like Gig didn't get a lot of time. We didn't really learn a lot about Logan. My friend still swears that he's a relative of James Dokes. I doubt that, but hey, who knows? But it just, I don't know, having Harrison be the one that kills Dexter because all of a sudden now he's upset because Dexter killed him. I guess to a degree I can understand that, but Dexter said there was no other way, and Harrison should have said something like, well, tell me what happened. Why did you have to kill him? And then Dexter said, well, I mean, he was going to grab his gun, and, what was I supposed to do? He could have explained what happened. I didn't think Logan really had to die. He could have just put him in a sleeper hold and knocked him out. I think that would have been something he could have easily done, but they decided to kill Coach Logan off anyways. So, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things. There were a few good episodes. There was some good potential. But all in all, Clyde Phillips almost had 10 years to put together something better than we got in Dexter Season 8. And honestly, I don't know if even this is even better than what happened at the end of Season 8. I guess there's some closure with Dexter, but there really isn't because his body was never taken to a coroner. He easily could have been revived, or he was really good at being still. I don't know. Or he could have taken something that would have slowed down his heartbeat like they did in the original Saw movie where a guy's laying on the ground for almost all the movie and then all of a sudden gets up at the end of the movie. So, I don't know. I just, rewatching this show, this run of Dexter, it really made me upset. A lot of the episodes I was bored. When I initially watched it, it was recency bias. We had more Dexter and I was pumped. The channel did really well during Dexter New Blood. I got a lot of people to subscribe to the channel because they liked hearing me talk about Dexter, which was good. I was on cloud 9 because that's the best my channel has ever done. You want to know what I'm going to score this. Now, I know in my original review, I believe I gave it a 9.0 out of 10. I did not go back and rewatch that video before recording this. I'm going to give this episode a 5.8 out of 10. There's a lot of characters that weren't hashed out right. We never saw the billionaire guy again. They teased us with Angel Batista and Dexter having a reunion that we never got, and it just pisses me off. And then to have Harrison shoot and, for what we see, kill Dexter because he's mad that Dexter killed Coach Logan, I just think it's dumb. He was understanding of all that, but when he just found out the episode previously, and now he's all of a sudden upset because it's Coach Logan. It's just a guy who he had just met. It wasn't like a guy he had an attachment with for years. He had just met Coach Logan. He knew him for 2 weeks? Obviously, I know that Coach Logan is a good guy, but it just doesn't make any sense. Clyde Phillips had time to put a great ending to Dexter, and he did not. So, my characters of the episode. Well, females, we really don't get much focus other than Angela. So Angela's going to be the female character of the episode. Her great Google searches and her randomness of talking to random people and getting information gives her the female character of this run of Dexter. And our male character of the episode is going to be Dexter. I try to hold off on giving him the character of the episode, but I can't give it to Harrison, and Coach Logan didn't do anything. He did die. So as a character on Dexter, I am going to give Coach Logan an 8.0 out of 10 because I did like Logan. I think there could have been a lot more to his character that they didn't give us. I would love to see even a second season of this show to learn more about the characters, have the cleanup, find all the bodies in the bunker, give us some other twist that, oh shit, there's more shit going on that we didn't even know about. So those are my thoughts on Dexter New Blood. It's unfortunate that this is going to be my last review of Dexter, a Dexter show, unless we have another revival of the series, which of course I will cover. This won't be my last Dexter video, though. It'll be my last review for a very long time, unless we get something new. But I have a few more videos I'm going to do revolving Dexter, or regarding Dexter, not revolving. I'm going to re-rank the seasons of Dexter because I feel like there's definitely some changes. I'm going to be ranking the characters. I'm not sure how many I'm going to do, but I'm going to do my favorite characters, and I think I'll do at least 25. It could be more. I am going to do my least favorite characters, and, well, I'll give you a hint. Teddy, he is on there because that guy is a fucking dipshit. And then I'm going to be doing a video on what ending of Dexter I like more. I think you might already know by now. I wasn't sure what I was going to say to this until now. I really wasn't sure what I was going to say. And then I think, I'm not 100% sure, that I'm going to do a video on what I think should be the ending of Dexter. Now, I don't know how into details I'm going to go. I just might have a couple changes that I would make. But I think the route I'm going, kind of what they did in the Halloween franchise. You know what? We've made so many movies. I'm just going to pretend that some movies or some seasons didn't happen. So that's the route I think I'm going to go. I could change my mind and do something else, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So those are the videos you should see. So there'll be a little bit more Dexter content on the channel. And of course, after all this Dexter content is through, if you're a fan of Lucifer, that will be the show that I'll be covering in place of Dexter. I hope you all will enjoy that. I'm relatively new to the show. I think I've watched like 4 to 6 episodes of it, and then it's completely new to me. So it'll be an interesting series to cover. So I'm done rambling. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Dexter or Dexter New Blood and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, make sure you Hulk smash that like button. Share this video with anybody that you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are. What would you score the episode? Who would be your male and female character of the episode? You can rank the seasons. You can rank the characters. You can tell me your favorite moment from this episode or anything you want to talk about Dexter related. Now would be the time to do so. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And J-Dub will return.